All right, welcome everybody to a brand new day of IS50A. Today we're going to be talking about two different topics, and I will split them into two different videos as a result. First is going to be how to do an opacity mask like this on a material, and the second is how to do attenuation and sound cues. That'll be the next video. So we've been working a lot with materials and stuff like that, but this is kind of a cool effect that I made for a game jam game a year or two ago. And you can see that it is a see-through, right? You can actually look through it. It is, however, the box is still there. So the material looks transparent, but if I come over to the health box here, oh, that's not very helpful. Let's go over to the one over here. Look at my flamethrower. Niagara effects. Okay. I can't run through it. Like it's actually fully solid. It just draws transparently. But it is, oh, there's the door. Kill these laser zombies in here. It is still solid. It is just not, let's kill this guy. Okay. But you can see through it. And this is really nice if you're going to make some cheap windows and things like that. Got one more laser zombie over here. And I originally made this material for a health box pickup. You can see the glow of this coming on my skin right here. Look at this. That is bright. This isn't even a bright monitor either. This is an emissive surface with an opacity mask on it. I made this to do a health pickup. And of course, I didn't want to commit war crimes. So the Geneva Convention prohibits the use of the Red Cross in video games, theoretically. I don't know if that's true or not. People claim it's true. The Red Cross, I think, claims it's true, but so what I did was I made an inverted health box pickup. So the box itself is red, and the cross doesn't exist. It is a see-through opacity masked thing, and so you can tell that's a health box pickup without committing war crimes in violation of the Geneva Convention. Okay, so how do we do that? So this is a picture of the Swiss flag here. And that's in fact what the Red Cross is. Like a lot of people think the Red Cross is Christian because it's a cross, and this was not helped by the Red Crescent Society. These guys here, because they didn't want to have a cross on them, so they had a crescent instead. And then you've got the red diamond, I think, which is like for, yeah, that one here. And so like this makes it look like it's a Christian symbol. It's not. It's literally the Swiss flag inverted. So the Swiss flag is this, and they just inverted it to make the Red Cross because it came from Switzerland. So it's the Swiss flag. It has, pet peeve of mine. So anyhow, we want to use the Swiss flag to make a health pickup box. We're not using the Red Cross symbol here. We want to be in full compliance with the Geneva Convention. So we're going to use the Swiss flag. And let's close out of this. And over here, and we've got a material like this. And so the basic texture is going to be the Swiss flag. And we're making it metallic, so it has kind of a cool sheen to it. And the key thing here is over on the left-hand side, there's blend mode masked. So that means that you can have, if I turn that off, you'll see that channel vanishes. The opacity mask channel vanishes, and you get a weird looking, just black, cross on the surface of the thing. If I were to save and apply this, you'll see that these pickups are going to look really bad, right? They now just have a black cross on them. They're not see-through anymore, which is really cool. So in order to get opacity masking to work, you have to come over to blend mode and you have to choose masked. Oh, not browse. Where did you go? There. Okay, save and apply. And then when you do that, that pin turns on opacity mask. And so what you're passing to it, if you if you connect a pin to it, what's happening here is we are subtracting 1. We're doing a 1 minus node here. And so wherever the Swiss flag is white, white is 1, 1, 1, 1 on all channels. We're pulling out just the blue channel. So if we were to preview this node, you can see that we are just grabbing the blue channel, which is this basically. Let's do this. Here we go. Yeah, the blue channel is this. Okay. And so we are doing a 1 minus. And so the areas where it's white, it is black. And where it is black, it is white. So what we've done is turned the Swiss flag plus sign here into a black plus sign by doing a 1 minus. We're then multiplying it by red in order to turn it in. This is for the emissive node. And so you'd see the areas that are white get multiplied by red. And it's not just red, it is very red. It is extremely red. More red than red has ever redded before. It is 1,000 red. It is not just 1 for red. When you do emissive, if you go, you can go all the way up, right? You can have double red and triple red. And the higher the red value you have, the more it glows. And so this is 8,000 times normal amounts of red. So we're multiplying the white by the glowy red and hooking that up to the emissive color. That's what's causing the edges to glow radioactive or molten magma red. And then the black areas just stay black for the emissive, so the whole doesn't glow. And then the opacity mask here is taking the this here. Any area that is black gets cut out of the world, and so it will the geometry essentially gets deleted anywhere you have a black pixel on this pin right here, the opacity mask pin. And so if we were to modify that, like we could do some Perlin noise or something like that. So I'll do a texture sample. Let's pull in some Perlin noise like that. If we were to just pull the red channel out or something like that into there, now it's going to say node. You can see now random parts of the mesh are going to be deleted. You see that? Wherever the areas the mesh is black get cut out of reality. And so you can use this to make a cool, like, battle damaged, health pickup over here. Let me increase my camera speed a little bit. Fly a little faster. And so you can see now with feeding noise into the opacity channel, the black is still, it's back to being like just a picture of black. The outer areas are still glowing, but we now have just random chunks of our wall deleted from reality. Okay. And so especially if you make this like a material parameter, you can actually have like an object like, like sort of like fade away or just get eaten away by reality. Like you spray acid on them. And you could make the areas that are opacity masked with the glow. You just have you can multiply the noise, and have the whole thing dissolve away, which would be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that even. I don't know. So yeah, let's do that. Actually, that sounds kind of fun. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna leave this code down here. Just move it out of the way a little bit. So I'm going to take the Perlin noise, and the Perlin noise is just clouds of white and black. Remember, the black areas are the areas that are going to get deleted. So I'm going to make a new constant or parameter. Just start with a constant and set the value to, I don't know, 1 by default. And then we're going to multiply this by 1. And so if we do this, nothing will change, right? Because we're multiplying by 1. Now, if I were to change this value to like 2, you're going to see there's going to be less damage because white means you draw it, black means you don't. So the areas that were like 0.5 gray before are now fully white. And so you can see there's very little damage there now. If I move it all the way up to 10, you're going to see there's almost no damage left. Just a little bit where it's like pitch black. Other than that, it's pretty solid. But if I go the other way, if I drop it to like 0.2, vanishes. All right. So you can have this just sort of fade away, right? So I'm going to right click and convert this to a parameter. And I'm going to call this hardest thing, computer science can with the name. Damage. Why would damage be lower the more damage it is? Acid multiplier. Maybe we'll do acid amount, and then maybe we do like a 1 minus. Yeah, let's do acid multiplier. Just keep it simple. Okay, and then this can default to 1, and it can range from 0 to 10, something like that. Save it, and then we're going to come over here, right-click on Swiss Mat, create a material instance out of it, and we're going to call this, sure, Swiss Mat material instance. Why not? Save, and we're going to apply that to this mesh here. And I'll just apply it to the other ones too. You get it. Okay, cool. All right. So if I double click on the Swiss Mat material instance, I can override the acid multiplier here, and I can drag it up and down. Okay, and you'll see the thing is reacting to me, very slowly reacting to me dragging the value up and down. So I'm actually going to move it to another window over here. And I'm going to set it to 1. Okay. And now I'm going to set it to 0.8, 0.5, 0.2, 0.9, 1.1, 2. I'll drag it, see if the frame rate's better this way. Dragging it slowly downwards. You can see the thing will just... Pretty cool, right? Yeah, unselect it, maybe. Let's do that again. We'll start off at 5. Very little battle damage, and I'll just kind of drag it down. 3, 2.5, 2, 1, and then it should... Pretty cool. Reduce to ashes. And we could even connect this to a blueprint. It'd be kind of fun. So, what do we want to do? Maybe when you hit it with a laser, something like that. When the player touches it. I don't know. Not sure what could cause this thing to dissolve into ashes. Remember, it's still going to be there, right? You'd have to delete it eventually. Maybe... Yeah, we got a door here already. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this on the door, because the door, instead of having the door like slide down like you saw, we can have the door just like vanish and then delete itself out of existence. So the door currently has a blueprint on it, and the blueprint has a timer on it, and the timer goes from 0 to 1. What happens is when the player, there is a collision trigger around it, a box trigger around the door. And when the player walks up to it, begins overlapping it, and it's the player, it does not trigger on a laser zombie, then it starts playing the timeline. The timeline ranges from 0 to 1. And what we do is we just adjust the position of the door so the door slides into the ground. When the person leaves, it plays the timeline in reverse, and the door slides back up. You guys saw that, right? Connor, Riddle. I can show you what it looks like real fast. Have you guys seen timelines before? Can't see the stream. Change windows. All right. How about now? You guys see now? I died. Dang it. All right. Let's try this again. Can you see it now? Okay. All right. So, yeah, sorry, it was loading for you. All right. So up here, we come up here and we walk up to the door, and you see the door slides down, door slides up. Okay. And then that allows us to, walk through the doorway here. Now, what would be cool if the door just, like vanished into ashes, right, when we walked up to it. So right now, the thing is just using this timeline. The timeline takes 1.5 seconds. So over 1.5 seconds, the door slides from 0% down to 1%, 100% down. And it's just doing a little math. How far down it has to move is 300 centimeters. So it goes down from 0 centimeters to 300 centimeters, and it just adds that to the offset of it. It subtracts essentially 300 meters off the door at the very bottom, and that's its world location. So rather than doing this, it'd be really cool if we could have it just dissolve. And so when we begin play, we're saving our world location. That's cool. And then what we need to do is create a dynamic material. Let's see, create dynamic material instance here. And we're going to do this for the Swiss material instance. And that is what we're going to set on our static mesh component. So static mesh component, we're going to set material. Why is it double attached? Okay. So we're going to set the material to be this, just like that. And so we only have one material. Some objects can have multiple materials on them. This one, I believe, only has a single one. Yep, element 0 is set to Swiss mat currently. We can actually change that to Swiss mat material instance. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a dynamic material. And so this is going to allow us to control things like that parameter, which we called, I forget, acid something, acid multiplier. Okay. So we can actually set parameters on it like that. So Swiss material instance, cool. So when we come up here, you can see that the it's not transparent now. What happened here? Blend mode masked should still be on. Oh, yeah. Because oh, interesting. Yeah. So we need to actually use both of these together. So because the cross is currently opaque, right? So we actually are going to multiply that, and that should give us that perfect. Okay, I think. I don't know if it's perfect. Let's find out if it's perfect. There we go. Yeah. So the trouble is we were just using the noise as opacity, and so that made the cross like opaque again. So by multiplying the inverse of the Swiss white, which is 0, multiplying that times the Perlin noise, it cuts out the cross no matter what. And then the acid is just going to dissolve away the area around the cross. So if we do this, that looks pretty good. All right, so we have made a dynamic material. Now, what we can do is here, rather than setting the world location, this I'm just going to kind of like move out of the way, and like kind of like do its own thing over here. What I'm going to do is I am going to, on update, I'm going to set material parameter. Set scalar parameter value on materials. Skeletal mesh. Skeletal mesh? Yeah. Let's get a mid scalar. Okay. Let's see if that works. I'm not confident that's the right function call. What do we call it? Acid multiplier. You have to be careful to spell this correctly, otherwise it will not work. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set acid multiplier to be based on the timeline. Now the timeline is going from 0 to 1. So what I want is when it's at 1, I want it to be totally faded into ashes. So I'm going to take the percent open and do a subtract. I'm going to do a 1 minus. Might actually up it a little bit. Because at 0.2 it's already gone. So I'll do this. So basically, when it starts off, percent open is 0. And so it's going to set the acid multiplier value to be 1.2. Which I guess we should probably set that to be the default if we want it to not glitch around when it starts. And so what's going to happen is it'll set the acid multiplier parameter, hopefully if that's the right node. Not entirely confident it is. It will set it to 1.2, and then as the timeline advances, whereas before you would slide the door down, now the door should vanish into smoke. So if it works, which again, not confident. Let's try this. Sprint over there. Maybe I should put a copy of the door next to me so I can try without having to run over the whole way. All right, it's looking pretty good. Hey, look at that! Well, these zombies are flying. Now the door is still there, right? But that actually worked perfectly. Huh. And then, oh, look at that! It fades back. Look at this. I walk away. I walk up. The door vanishes into smoke. Really cool effect. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be impressed by my own special effects, but that actually looks pretty cool, honestly. Now the door is still there, so the the door is still there. So we got a problem with having a door that's faded to ashes that is still blocking us, because remember, when you opacity mask something, it doesn't actually change the geometry at all. You can just see through it. So what we should do is delete ourselves, maybe. Man, I like it. I like it fading back though. So maybe when it's fully invisible, we like just move it below the ground or something, or set its collision to be off or something. Let's see if we can mess with this. Okay, so so if percent open is greater than or equal to, I don't know, 0.95, then we are going to set its world location to be below the surface of the planet. Just throw it out of the way. We probably should just turn off the collision on it, but this is funnier. And then if we're ever not, then we will set the world location back to its original spot, which we've actually saved already, which is convenient. And there we go. So remember, on begin play, we got its location and saved it. This is to make the timeline for the door opening and closing work. We're just going to use it here. So when it's fully invisible, we just throw it beneath the planet and forget about it. When it starts fading back in, we just put it back in place. So while it's fully invisible, doesn't like it, target. Not a scene component, right. Fine. Set accurate location. And we'll just throw you again beneath 1,000 meters below the surface of the planet. And that might cause problems, actually. It might cause problems. So let's just put it like 10 meters. Yeah, 10 meters down. I think I set the kill plane low enough that it's not going to kill it. There's something called the kill plane that deletes objects that drop too far down. So that might have, if you put it too far down, it might actually trigger the kill plane and it would not come back. So that should work, maybe. Yeah, let's try it. Look at that, saving speed. There's my coffee. Oh, that's right, I was going to put it. Oh, there. Hopefully this will work right the first time, that I don't need to mess with it anymore. All right, come up here. Fades away. Weird. I think I'm still... It's acting really strange, isn't it? Interesting. Yeah, let's just mess with the collision then. I think what's happening is that it's coming back and flicking me out of the way when I do that. Collision. Is collision enabled? Not on the box, not on the box, not on the box. Collision. We don't want is collision enabled, we want to disable collision. Set collision enabled on the static mesh component. So we're going to say the static mesh component, which is our box, no collision. And then when the door reappears, we will set that threshold at 9. You walk away, door rematerializes. There it is. All right. Worked right the first time, the third time. Just how it goes. All right. So I will screenshot this for you guys. This is the material. Again, to do an opacity masked material, you need masked on over here. And then to do a dynamic material like that, what you have to do, the key thing is this thing here called create dynamic material instance. That allows you to change those parameters in real time, which is really cool. There's a lot of cool effects you can do with that. You can have smoke, coat your doors. You can have blood splatters. You can have materials rust. Any material parameter that you have, you just sit there and turn those values up and down in real time in a blueprint. It's super cool. There's just so many things you can do with that. For this one, I'm just messing with the acid parameter thing here, which is controlling the multiplication on here. So when acid multiplier goes down to 0, everything's black, so it doesn't draw anything. When acid multiplier is higher, then the numbers are more white, and it draws them. And so as that drops through the timeline here, because I'm doing a 1 minus kind of thing, 1.2 minus, as the timeline goes from 0 to 1, the acid multiplier value drops from 1.2 down to 0.2. 0.2 is what we determined is invisible anyway. And so you see that cool acid eating the door away effect. And then when it's invisible, we just turn off collision. And then you can walk through it. When you walk away, collision turns back on, and the thing reappears. You use this for like teleportation effects, or things getting burned away. They get burned to ashes, or acid, like we're doing for this. So I really like how this turned out. So I hope you guys do too. All right. Peace.